How's it going, guys? This is Forensic Forex with Deontay, and I'm back with another video. This is your daily update for British pound versus US dollar. As you can see, after the ECB rate hike of 50 basis point, there is some yield flowing back into the foreign currencies. Anything that was EU, AU, NU, or AU has been slightly boosted, or honestly, in my opinion, hasn't really made a big impact. Normally, the rate hikes are really dramatic, but this one was really sluggish, really anticlimactic for me personally. Like, I was looking at the chart, I was waiting for the rate hike to drop. It dropped. Markets did nothing. It did nothing. So I really think that the eyes may be on the Feds and what the Feds are going to do, because of course the Feds is the National Bank of the United States, and they also hold the world's reserve currency. So whatever that currency is doing, normally other currencies are doing opposite to it. But we can see, though, we took out these equal highs and price has come down. We have an inside bar candle. So normally, according to Larry Williams, if you have read his book, Long-Term Secrets of Short-Term Trading, inside bars are one of the candles that ends up tricking a lot of retail traders, because this candle doesn't break a previous high or previous low. It just sits inside the previous candle's high to low range. This candle is about to finish forming in about 21 minutes. So normally when you see a candle that forms inside a candle's range, odds are you shouldn't look to trade tomorrow. Just sit on the sidelines. Tomorrow is Friday, so my personal trading model, I don't like to trade Fridays. I normally will trade Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and sometimes Thursdays. Fridays, completely a no-no. Sundays as well, of course, unless we have I can play the Sunday opening gap. But that's besides the point. If we look at dollar, however, too, right? So if we look at dollar and go to DXY, we can see price as well is forming an inside bar as well. So Friday, no. So once you get these inside bar candles right here that trade inside another candle's range, you normally want to wait and see what happens the next day. Does price break this candle's low or this candle's high? Normally that should give you further insight to what the market is going to do. Same thing for this as well. Is the next candle Friday, is it going to take out the high or the low? That's what you would normally want to wait for, especially after seeing a candle stall inside another candle's range. Overall, though, for the weekly chart, man, price has been moving sideways. So if I were to show you, you can see this is the weekly chart for British pound. We've been moving sideways, especially around the yearly open. So there's no significant move right now. Not running away from a premium or a discount. It's just threading the needle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Same thing for EU. Runs up, comes down, and still threading around the yearly open. However, for AU, we see a different stance. In NU, we see a different stance. It comes up above the yearly open, and then it makes a move away. It's showing like a stance, like, hey, I went into a premium, and now I'm leaving premium and going down into a discount. Same thing here for Australian dollar. Price comes up to a premium, and it says, yep, we're leaving a premium range. We sold up here, and now we're leaving low. These two currency pairs, however, are just stalling back and forth. And this is the weekly chart. So for a couple weeks, we've been in a small range cycle for GU. You can see small body, small, 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 all compared to this larger candle, right? We can see this is the largest candle we have in most recent time. And all these candles are way smaller than it. So we're anticipating most likely a large range candle to come into play sooner or later, because small range candles are normally begot by large range candles. It's the same thing here. Small range candles, the largest one that we had recently in price was this one right here, and ever since then we haven't had a candle larger than this one yet, body wise. I'm not talking about wicks, I'm talking about bodies here. But if you go back down to the hourly chart and see the weekly range displayed, we can see how price now is consolidating inside this candle's range, the inside bar. This is when the rate hike dropped around like 9:15, I believe, or 9:30. Didn't really do much, honestly. DXY was unaffected as well. So if we look at the DXY barely budged when the rate hike came out, including the currency as well. EU barely budged too during its rate hike. So if I were to bring it back just briefly, just to show you here, you can see there goes the news event there. And you can see that they raised it by a 50 basis point. The forecast was right, so they follow through with their monetary policy and did a 50 point raise, and you'll see when price drops, right? Yeah, it dropped here, around here. Didn't do much. Very anticlimactic. Price is just stalling. It's in a range right now. A lot of sentiment is being built up. Maybe there's a lot of uncertainty still in the market of what's supposed to happen. I'm assuming the eyes are on the Feds because, the Feds control the central bank in America, and they are also the world reserve currency. So whatever that currency normally does, everything else does opposite and gets ready to move. So next week we're going to see whether or not the Feds really shake the market up and see if their rate hike, or if they're cut, or if their indecision to not raise the hikes at all impacts the market. So a lot of things are really interesting to the beginning of this year for the currency market. So I think investors may be switching off and jumping into other asset classes to protect their money. So whether that is bonds, futures, commodities, or cryptos, they're jumping into a lot of things right now because the market is really showing unstable conditions. So hopefully this was insightful. Peace.